I'm sharing the screen now, so is it visible for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so previously we have seen some of the allocations for memory management. So that's what we are going to continue. Merging of memory is done. So we are discussing about contiguous and non-contiguous memory location. Okay, so we discussed regarding this contiguous and non-contiguous memory location. Then about the logical and physical address. So how we have a logical address in a memory location and physical address in a memory location. Then how a non-contiguous memory is allocated. So non-contiguous memory is allocated as two things based upon paging and segmentation. Okay, so that's what we have seen. So comparison between the contiguous and non-contiguous memory location. So in case of a contiguous memory location is from the kernel allocates and the single memory to a process. So here in the case contiguous memory location, there is a single memory area and that is allocated by the kernel. Where in case of the non-contiguous memory location, the kernel allocates several memory areas to process. Each memory area holds one component of the process. Okay. So in case of the non-contiguous memory, there is no fixed allocation of the memory. Means the kernel will allocate the memory, and each component holds means there will be n number of memories, and each components may hold its data in some other locations. Like that, it will happen. Address translation. Address translation is not required in case of contiguous. Address translation is required, not required. Whereas in case of non-contiguous, you require the memory management unit to require. Okay, so address translation is performed by the MMU. MMU in the sense memory management unit. Then memory fragmentation. So in case of this contiguous, external fragmentation arise if first fit, best fit or next fit allocation is used. Internal fragmentation arises if memory allocation is performed in blocks of a memory few standard size. Okay, so this is how it is going to work in a contiguous allocation. In case of non-contiguous, we will use the segmentation and paging. Okay, in paging, external fragmentation does not occur, but internal fragmentation can occur. In segmentation, external fragmentation occur, but internal fragmentation does not occur. So this is the vice versa. Then swapping. So in case of a contiguous, unless the computer system provides a relocation register, a swapping process must be placed in its original allocated area. Okay. In case of non-contiguous, components of a process components swiped in a process can be placed in anywhere in the memory. So in case of non-contiguous, it's not a fixed location like in case of continuous. So you will be allowed with any memory location access, and you are going to store any data on any location. So this is how it's going to work in the contiguous and non-contiguous. Then memory protection. Memory protection is very much important, and it can be done using the bond registers. Okay, so we'll be having the bond registers for as upper bond limit and lower bond limit registers. So which will allow only limited access, and it is not going to harm or it is not going to lose any data. Okay, so this is how memory protection can be done. So memory areas allocated to a program have to be protected against the interference from the other programs. That's what. Then MEMU performs this through a bound check. Okay, so there is a bound check. So using that, you are going to your MMU memory management unit is going to have the protection while performing address translation for logic address. Uh, comp and byte. So it means you are going to have the memory management unit check. There is called comp, and that is a byte. Byte means it is going to give you how many data, how many bytes are allocated. So comp byte will tell you whether it is allocated, the memory is allocated or not, and byte will tell you what is the size of the memory. Bond checks can be specified in the paging. Okay, so bound stacks also can be specified in the paging. So byte cannot exceed the size of the page. Means in case of the page, again bond checks are given. So within that bond checks only, the allocation is going to happen and access is going to happen. So above that bond checks, you are not going to access any of the memory. So that is how it is going to work in your paging. So paging in the sense only upper and lower ends are there. So within that you are going to access the data, and within that you are going to have your all the data available. Right, so this is how the paging is. So here upper and lower limits, so this is upper limit and lower limits are specified. So within this area you are going to have your data available. Okay, so in the logical view of the address space of the process consists of a linear arrangement of pages. So this is the linear arrangement of pages. Each page has s byte in it, where s is the power of 2. The power of 2 in the sense, so it is going to work as power of 2 axis. Power of 2 axis means like 0, 1, 2, 4, 6. Okay, so like that it is going to access. The value of the specified architecture computer system process use numerical addresses. Okay, so it uses the numerical address for accessing. Okay, so memory is divided into areas called page frames. Okay, so this is a page frames, right? So each page is having a page frame. So page frame consists of the data. Okay, so here you can see a page frame is the same size as the page, right? So the size is going to remain same. So this is the memory. So this is the page table of P. So there is a process P. Okay, so suppose the page P we have. So within that we have a page table. The page table for R. Okay, so we have two kinds of pages here, page P and page R. So for that we have page frames. So here you can see effective memory addresses. How we are going to calculate start address of a page frame 8 plus 128. Okay. So start address of page frame, uh, this hash 8 in the sense what number of 8 bytes plus 128. So it is 8 into 1024. So since it is 1 kilobyte location, so it is going to be 1024 multiplied with the 8. So 8 represents the frame number of frames plus 128 bytes. So this is total memory available. Right. So this is how we are going to measure the what you can say total paging or the physical organization of the paging. Okay, so this is the memory page frame. So here you can see 0, 1, 2 up to 9. They have given total 10 page frames they have given. Right. So here page ID of the page. So here R0, R1, R1, R2 like that there will be page IDs as well. So this is called, these are the allocated areas, and this is what, this is a free area. Right. So and this is a page frame. Okay. So page frame. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to this, then that we will be having 1, 3, 9, 6, 8. So this is what, this is a page number. Right. So like that it will be. So notation used to describe the translation. S is the size of frame. Okay, so S is what? S is the size of frame. Length of logical address. LL in the sense length of logical address. LP in the sense length of physical address. NB in the sense number of bits used to represent the byte number in a logical address. So number of bits you are using to represent it. Okay. And number of bits used to represent number of number in a logical address. So basically it is what number of bits you are using in a logical address or a physical address. So that's how we are going to represent it. Right. So that's the size of the page is S is power of 2. Okay, as I told, so it is going to be calculated using power of 2. S is equal to 2 raised to NB. Right. So NB is a chosen. So NB is what number of bits used to represent number of bytes in a logical address. Right. So this is how it is going to be. So this is the logical address, start address of a frame, QI, and effective address of physical address. Right. So this is how logical address, physical address are going to be represented. So this is the length of the logical address, length of the physical address. Okay. So this is how it's going to work. Then we are going to see one address translation in paging. So suppose we have 32-bit logical address. Page size is 4 kilobyte. So 12-bit are adequate address bits we have. So 2 raised to 12 is obviously 4 kilobyte we will get. Okay. So for 32-bit logical address, how it is going to work, we are going to see. For a memory size of 256 MB, so logical, so physical length is how much? 28. So if page 130 exits in the page frame, so 48, uh, they have given that page frame is 48. Total page is 130, PI is 130, and QI is 148. Pages are 130 and page frames are 48. Okay, so PI is 600. The logical and physical address, how we are going to give is like this. Okay, so here it is given physical address and here it is a logical address. So logical address length total is, you can see, 32, and physical address length is 38. So 22. So it is 32 and here is 28. So logical address is more than the physical address. So physical address, you can see, it is 16 plus 12. So it is 28, whereas this is 32. Right, so that's why we are going to get the logical address more compared to the physical address. Then next we have segmentation. In case of segment, so is a logical entity and program. So we know segment in the sense, there will be in previous also we have seen there was something called segmentation. Segmentation in the sense, you are going to divide the memories into the blocks based upon its usage. So code segment we have when where the code is instructions are stored, data segments only holds the data, tag segment, extra segment, like that. So segment is a logical entity in a program. Logical entity in the sense, it is not divided physically, but logically it is divided. Okay, so function, data structure or object. So you can see main, search, update, database, queue, stack, like that. So this is how it is. Segmentation is being made for the memory. Each logical address used in a queue has the form SIBI. SIBI are the IDs of segment and the byte within the segment. Then segmentation with paging. Each segment in a program is paged separately. Okay, so segmentation with paging in the sense what? How a segmentation and paging are interrelated. That's what we are going to see. Each segment in a program is paged separately. Integral number of pages are allocated to each segment. Simplifies the memory allocation, speeds it up, avoids the external segmentation, external fragmentation. So here in this case, it has to look for the processes, different processes what they are running, and on that different processes where they are going to be used, whether they are in a segments or they are in a fragmentation. Okay, so here in this case you can see process queue we have. So where it includes the main, search, update, database, tag, like that it is divided. So this can be taken as a segment where it is going to be indicated through its name, size, and page table address. Okay, so main is having some certain size of the data, and it is going to start from somewhere. So that is what here you need to give the page address. So in the main memory where it is going to start, then database is having certain address, sorry, certain size, and it is having certain address. So where it is getting start, that is you need to look into. So this is how it's going to work. Then kernel memory allocation. Kernel creates and destroys data structures at high rate during its operation. Means kernel is responsible for creating the memory also, and it is also responsible for destroying also. Right. Mostly control blocks. So how it is controlled? PCB, ECB, IOCB, FCB. Okay, like program control block, external control block, and then IO control block, then frame control block. So like that it will be divided. So sizes of the control blocks known as an OS design stage. So helps make memory allocation simple and efficient. Right. So whatever the control blocks are there, so they are meant for handling all the memories effectively. So modern use non-contiguous memory location with paging. Like so, these are the some of the theories used. Like one is McCluskey curls allocator, and another is lazy body allocator, another is a slab allocator. So these are some of the non-contiguous allocation with paging we will be having. So McCluskey kernels and lazybuds allocator allocates memory areas that are power of 2 in size within a page. Okay, so it uses the technique called power of 2. So as I told, so 2 raised to 0, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, like that it is going to allocate it. Start addresses of each allocated memory area of size 2 raised to n is a multiple of 2 raised to n. So start address of each allocated memory area is of size 2 raised to n, so that is 2 raised to 0, 2 raised to 1, like that is a multiple of 2 raised to n. So obviously it is multiple of 2 raised to n only. Then boundary alignment of power of 2, that is leads to cache performance problem. Some means here in this case also there are certain limitation, that is it is having a cache performance problem. So what is that cache performance problem? Is that cache in the sense we know it is a faster memory which is there near processor. So it is going to, in using this method, there will be problems in accessing this cache. Then some parts of the cache face a lot of contention leading to poor cache performance of kernel code. Okay, so that's why it is having a certain limitations. That is McCaskey kernels and lazy bud allocator is having certain limitations. Then slab allocator is an interesting technique to avoid this cache performance problem. So slab allocator has come up with a interesting technique, so that is going to avoid the limitation which are going to happen in case of your McCaskey and lazy bud allocators. Then slab allocator was first used in a slab Solaris 2.4. So Solaris 2.4 is an OS. So this OS, in this OS, slab allocator was used earlier. So has been used in Linux since version 2.2. Okay, so slab consists of many slots. Each can hold an object. Okay, so how the slab allocator will work? So it will work based upon the objects. So how many objects are there? So for each slab, for each allocation it is going to have certain objects. Coloring areas are chosen such that the objects in a different slabs or a pool have a different alignment with respect to the closest multiple of power of 2. Okay, so here in this case they are going to color such that the objects in a different slabs of pool have different alignments. Right. So different objects, if they are available, for that different alignment will be done. Okay. Then and it is also closest to the multiple of power of 2. So this is nearest to the power of 2, whatever the previously happened. Then map into different areas of set associative cache. Right. So it is going to map for the different areas of set associative cache. Set associative cache in the sense there are various caches alignment we have, like set associative cache, then associative cache, direct cache, like that. Cache accessing methods are available. So this is going to be uh, it's going to map for the set associative cache also. Right. Then using the ideal RAM effective. So it is going to use the ideal RAM. Memory is idle between when the applications are not active. How can idle memory can be exploited by OS? Okay, so how the RAM is going to be used for the effective usage of your computer system when it is accessing different parts of area. So that's what we are going to discuss. So here you can see like when it is used with the Windows Vista or Linux, how it is going to work. So that's what we are going to see. Okay. So for now, uh, this is what how we have discussed. So there are some more things we need to discuss about this one, and we are going to continue the fourth model. Before the fourth model, I will continue. I will take some of the things which are skipped out in the first and second model. Then I will continue with the those things. That is, whatever the things are there in the third model, that I will finish up. The previous things which are there in the first and second model, I will finish up that one. Then I will go